Another sunrise in Long Lake. That one yesterday took all day. I can't believe how long it took to download. Like, man, especially since lately at home, it's like 15 minutes. And then I was here hours and hours and hours. It wasn't doing anything. Went to town, and it barely moved. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And then later in the evening, I went and looked, and it said it downloaded a few hours ago. So I don't know. I'm gonna try and download this one, but you may not get it. I'm still going to be planning on going tomorrow. It's supposed to be 107 or 109 or something. And so I was thinking of leaving really early to get out of this hottest part, because once I get back over to my side, it's going to be more like 80s. Well, I guess all through the middle, all through central Washington, because that's where my daughters live, in South Central. And it is two of my daughters and my grandkids live in South Central, where it's also super hot. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking. And then I'll download this, but I'll try still today. But you know, I do have to give full disclosure here is when you listen to me, you are probably getting your words straight from Satan. So just so you know. Is, yeah, that was the argument yesterday. We did get into a heated discussion. There's still a heated discussion over the rapture, of course. And it was like, oh my gosh. When I listen to the stuff she says, I'm just like, how are these people brains so locked into this? Because I'll try and question those kinds of things. How do you choose a God that only takes some people under the umbrella? And they're like, and she, oh, that really made her mad, because it was like, everybody has the choice. And I said, yeah, but you know, I try to point out, like, you're using Jesus to forgive you instead of forgiving yourself. But nobody understands what you're saying until it makes sense to them, and then it changes people. And I'll tell you something that I have found validation in my own self about, is because the stuff that I've been talking about for years now has been through my instinct and through my internal guidance, and there's tons and tons of people start saying the same thing, and I don't know those people. So that's coming from somewhere. This information is coming from somewhere. And when we are saying the same information, and we're all different people, and it's not just like, well, we all read the same book, so it's a big book club. No, this is our internal guidance. This is stuff that is really happening. Some of the stuff that's confirmation to me is, you know, shown something and then it happens, but it is, that's you learning how to trust for yourself. You know, this is me talking about my journey to my best self, is all I can think of it to be. It's like it's kind of like you're born this excited self, like you're excited to come in for the experience, and then the game starts, but it's played at a different level than what you think. And so it's an attack on your ego or your psyche. And in here, in this realm, it engages your psyche to the point you lose yourself. And so, hold on, I got some tea. So, so you become too much involved in the game, rather than, like, the game starts interfering with how you see yourself. And so it's like, and because our species hasn't developed into this point, well, they have, that's the thing. So, you know, there was a point in time where humans were more spiritual. It all depends on the ages. So in certain ages, and that has something to do with that. I said it before, and I still don't know the word right. But there's like these cycles. I think this is like Hindu or something. But there's these cycles, and I keep wanting to say condo new, like it's a suit. I can't think of what it is, but it has like the golden age, the silver, so it overrides like the so it, like think about a little thing, as everything's micro, so you think about a little thing, and then you think the thing that's outside of it that encases it, like energetically, like we are encased by the firmament and the ice wall. We're held in by a bubble of it, so that creates a space-time, which creates an age of experience. And in the experience, then we have like because there's the Bronze Age, the Gold Age, the Silver Age, and then that is like on the outside. On the inside, then it is these what do they call it, like Age of Aquarius. We were in the, I believe this one, it was called the Piscean, but I hear people say different things, so I don't know. I mean, we're all just, figuring this stuff out, and there's a lot of hidden knowledge and misuse of facts and stuff. So anyways, I think it's the Piscean, and that's what the fish represented, and it was based more on this learning about like good and evil, and these two encounters, and there's more to it. Like if you hear somebody who that's what they talk about, they can explain it way better than me. That's not my thing, but I can understand it. So in this cycle where we're having these experiences and these opportunities to experience, and then on the outside of that is like the sun or night dial or whatever. And so then you have the golden age. Well, see, we're going into this where we're going to be in the golden age, and so it's almost like these two different dials aligning. And I don't even know more, like I don't even know more, but like I can see how we're going into this golden age of like it's the age of knowledge and abundance. That's why we're going to start to learn all this stuff. But see, your mind has to be open. And it's funny too, because we had so much fun floating yesterday, but the river was going so fast, and oh my god, when we had to get out, it was so intense. Oh my god. And then we were out, we went past the drop site, and we were out on these huge rocks. They were all covered with moss. Oh my god, I was so crouched over trying to walk, and it was so hard to walk. And then a little stick was there. I was like, oh, there's a walking stick for me. So I used it to try and, because the places in between the rocks, there wasn't enough room to put your foot, and your foot wouldn't stay on the rock. It would slide down, and there was like a lot of sharp stuff. Oh my god, it was intense, man. And anyways, but somebody was talking about that, something with their mind opening, and they were talking about something, some information or something. I said, oh, your mind was opening. And they were like, yes, it was very uncomfortable. I just wanted to close it. And see, that's the thing, is so many people, as their mind begins to open, it's like, oh God, I can't go there. I've got to hold on to my safety. I've got to, like in the visual, I see somebody who needs to hurry and get back to, like it's a child floaties within like a ring or something, like it's a step down. That's why I said everything is like steps. It's not like you have to rush yourself. You just go through your steps. And it's a development to be able to especially let go of these strong parameters that they've given us of existence. And so we have to allow ourselves to process and open up to possibility. And that is so vast that it is like open water. And it's weird. It's like these little hummingbirds. And hummingbirds can be bitches, I'm telling you. There's one over here that just bullies the other ones, and he's black. He's got this gray chest, and then she's got this little family of hummingbirds that live here. They always come, and like they'll come down and sit and look at you and stuff. And the black one flew in all of a sudden, starts bossing them out, and then's drinking from the things, and they try and come over, and he's pushing them out. There's like drama all, and sorry, starting this morning. Oh, but see, these cute little ones that live around here, they sneak up, get some drinks, sneak off. So cute. But that black one, man, he's a bitch. So anyways, the open water to me, it feels like in the physical, that overwhelms me. But in the mental, I can be out there. So but that has been my like training since I was a child, because this interaction, this relationship started when I was 3. Except for, my mom notified me yesterday that since I don't believe in the Bible or the devil, that Satan has got me, and that's who's talking to me, and I'm being fooled. So, anyways, that's why I said use your discernment. So, but anyways, the mind being open can feel so scary and vast, and then people want to close it down. That can lead also to drinking and stuff. And you know what I was thinking about with that the other day? I think it was something with alcohol or something. Something made me think of this. But there's certain things that have a vibration. And so, a lot of people say there's spirits in alcohol and stuff. Well, it's the vibration that you reach. It's like alcohol takes you into this vibration, into this realm of where these beings exist, but it's parasitic. Like so many people, I've heard drug people stories and stuff, and then it's been in the movies. I can't think of one of the movies what it's called, but Denzel Washington's in it, and it shows how the energy can jump people, and they use drunk people and stuff. And like that one time when I was at the gas station a few weeks or a few months ago, and that guy just comes running up to me and goes right down on my face and smiles real big, and he's missing a tooth in the same place my son-in-law was missing a tooth, and that's the same things my son-in-law would do. He'd just come running down to you and do a big smile. He was just such a happy guy. But something yesterday my mom said too was you're talking about somebody and their struggles, and she said, well, they're just so beautiful and so striking, and seem to have everything going on, and for them to be so troubled and stuff. And that's always the illusion. People think because someone's smiling or someone's pretty that they don't feel pain. It's like that's the part of our being able to understand how artificial that thinking is, and breaking ourselves free and going in deeper and seeing the real person underneath, and that the pain that they're carrying, and to be more understanding and not just so there's so much hummingbird going over our head. There's so much distortion in our views when we keep ourselves distracted with the surface. And so it's so much more practical to get to know people on a deeper level and know their pain and suffering, and build relationships where people can be vulnerable and talk about what their truth is and what they really go through, and not the part of them that they try and represent. Because that's the part, what I'm saying is, when we're kids, we start developing this acceptable thing, this part of us that we think is acceptable to everybody else, because we feel so shamed about ourselves. But the shame doesn't just come from this life, is what I'm saying. It comes from multiple lives, and each life you come into, you get opportunities to make those changes. And so when you come into the Piscean age, then you are learning these different balances and how to see things and go through different experiences, because going through experiences is what builds your it removes your biases. It takes down your judgment and stuff, because it is that there, I can't think of the thing, is therefore by me goes, it's like the acknowledgement that the same thing could happen to you. There's no reason you should sit and judge somebody else, for what happens to them, because it's an understanding and acknowledgement that the same things could happen to you, and that you give that, you take a need of that information. You like, you know, like, and you learn that through all these life cycles in all these different ages, where you get opportunities to come and express and learn about yourself, but also to experience different simulations so that you can expand. Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, yeah, that, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I'm sorry, that was showing me something. Okay, so to expand your view. Okay, so yesterday when we were going to go float, and we were walking, and you have to walk down to the river, and so we're carrying our floats and whatnot, and my daughter and her partner start talking about this bike out on this thing, and they're like, how did that bike get there? That's so weird. Who would have put that there? How did it get there? And they're having this whole thing about how weird it is. And I'm looking for this bike, and I'm looking way out, you know, like, because I see some people out here on this. And so I'm looking out there like, where's the bike? What are they talking about? I see a chair over there, like, but I think he just walked out there. And so then she says, I'm like, where's the bike? I don't see the bike. He said, it's right there. So it was way up here. There was these tall pillars coming out of the water, and so they were really, really tall. And one of them had shoes on it, which I guess you could throw on, but another one had this bike. It was way far from the bridge, but it was the thing they were showing me was that change in perspective. That they really made that stand out to me yesterday too. And so yeah, then they were just using it to show it to me. But that change of perspective, all of a sudden you see so much more. It was like I was looking way out here and I wasn't seeing this at all. And then when they pulled my vision to this, all of a sudden I could see a whole nother thing. And that is what life is like. That is what experience is like. That is what you go through, all of these different experiences, because it does that expansion all the time in your view of things. So that's how, as a consciousness, as a soul, as a energy, we expand ourselves by seeing more. And you see, like, just going and looking out there, and then all of a sudden this whole world opened up right here. That was, it's like this whole changing in your view, where all of a sudden a whole new thing came to life. Like this too. Like my neighbors across the street, I were just cutting and cutting and cutting, like he got some new little cutter, so he was just cutting everything down, which he probably got the cutter because he wanted to cut the thing down. He probably didn't get the cutter and goes, oh, what can we cut down? He probably got it because he's like, I want to cut that thing down. How can I do it safely? And the little what are those things called? Not jackknives, little, because big ones, those chainsaws. So those little chainsaws are becoming super popular. My mom got one, and they are kick-ass, like taking branches off real good. So he was out there just chopping and chopping and chopping. And I was, doing my own stuff, but I was outside. And so then, and they were way down at the end of my driveway. So then when I left, I think to go get my car or whatever, I could see, and they were so busy having to clear all this stuff and everything, but I could see they'd opened up a whole new world. It was like all that was so overrun. It was like, I didn't even notice, like it wasn't, but it was so much more space in that part of their yard, which I'm curious if they're doing things to start trying to sell their house. They're doing so much stuff lately. But so they opened up that whole part, which then opened up through to the neighbors next door who hate everybody. Well, they're very loud and moody and argumentative with people. So they, I was like, I bet they're not happy about it, because it was this guy's stuff, but it gave them privacy. And then this just opened up that whole thing. But that whole expansion of space opens up a whole new world. And so that is what we're doing. And think micro, macro. We're doing it in our minds, and we're doing it in the physical. And so, hold on, I'm getting a drink. You can hear the dogs bark a second. So of course they stop. So out front, oh my God, there's so many cute little quails. She's got a shit ton of quail. And there's deers, but I haven't seen any come down. So anyways, so in like the Piscean age and stuff, and this though, it's like we're going into the golden age and the age of Aquarius, and so this everything is lining up for this great expansion for humanity. But it's also confirmation is also this part. It can only open to those who can open up to it. And that, you know, is like when I don't talk to my mom or something, that's where I'll become concerned, because it's so closed-minded. The argument is so strange and absurd to me. You know, we're arguing about the book that has all of the written knowledge, and if you don't go by that, then you don't know anything. And I'm like, that book was edited by King James, don't forget, to control his people. Well, that doesn't matter. I mean, but that's what happens when people are brainwashed, and even in a cult, they just circle back, circle back, circle back. And the people in the Christian cult don't realize that they are in a cult that was created for them. And then after this heated debate, argument thing that we had gotten into, and it ended the same way as the last one. It's like, you are not going to change my mind. You're not going to change me. I've been telling you stuff since I was a child. And she said the same thing. She's very concerned because she failed as a parent, because her only job as a parent was to get us all to the Lord. But so she feels like she failed. But it's like, I don't know. She's positive she's going to be raptured. That's where it all starts, always, is rapture. Because she says the tribulation's coming, and it's the people. So what's going to go down is Jesus comes down, and he's due any time. And he's going to take his people, so his team that all worship him. And so he's going to take them, and then hell on earth is going to break out for 7 years. The tribulation is we're all punished because we didn't go team Jesus. And so I'm like, and you're comfortable with that? And I said, because these are beliefs, man. Oh my gosh, Dora. These are beliefs, man. And I said, I said something about, well, you don't have to worry about it. You guys will all be up in heaven laughing about it. While we're all down here, you know, learning our lesson. And she said, well, I won't be laughing. I'll be very sad. And I said, well, how are you going to be in heaven if you're sad, Mom? Like, you can't go in, like, how does that make sense? And when I say things that, like, throw them in and try and say, you're supposed to heal your sadness, I'll give it over to the Lord. You're supposed to take responsibility for it. But, you know, people have been indoctrinated for a long time. And especially, like, if you know in your heart there's a Lord, or there's a Holy Spirit of some sort, that you are something more than what they tell you, then it's easy. But the only thing is they don't see, like, then they give you what to believe in. And you can't go through them. You got to go through you. Okay, I'm talking for a minute. This will probably be even shorter. And it will probably, maybe it will download quicker. Who knows? But anyways, but when we go into this age, so the age of Aquarius is the age of love. So we get to experience this new kind of love. That's why we're all realizing what love isn't. Like, we're all leaving relationships and being like, this isn't love. What was I in this doing? What am I doing? And that's where you got to see your sides of yourself, of your patterns. And then it's a big part. It's like the people you draw to you, or the people at your vibration. Like, if you don't like the people who are coming near you, that's, you got to see that's what you're putting out in the world. So you got to change you. You got to step up your game. You got to do better for yourself, take better care of yourself, whatever it is. Mostly it's always about learning how to love yourself. So many people don't know how to love themselves. And then, I mean, I'm not going to say that there's all these Christians loving themselves. I'm going to say that there's all these Christians who hate themselves so much that they need somebody else to step in and say, well, I love you, so that they can even exist. And that is a part that is, you know, as a soul, you're trying to break free from, because it is a trap, it's a jail, it's a prison. And what, as souls, we want to break free. We want to be free. We want to be able to shine. We want to be able to move. We want to be able to do what we want and experience what living is. So, hummingbirds, I'm going to drink. So that is, we hold value to these lessons. Oh, you know, another thing Mom noticed yesterday was there's no wasps. Her thing is usually overrun by wasps. So anyways, over here in Spokane, there's no wasps. Where, yeah, it is weird. Because she always had them like web, the little, she's got so much stuff everywhere. Like if I panned around, but it was just like, she's got a lot of stuff. Like I said, more is more, or more is better. But there's lots of wasps nest and stuff. And there's none, no wasp anything. So she said it would be miserable sitting out here usually, because the wasps are everywhere, but none. So, oh, another thing, but when we ended our thing, you know, when we dropped our swords, well, you're not going to change me, well, you're not going to change me, so drop it. And it was tense for a minute, but then we just started talking about something else and just moved on. And then we're fine. We just kept talking about other things and stay away from religion, because we have very, very opposing beliefs on everything that is happening at this point. Because I think we're about to go into something really good, and she thinks we're about to go in the tribulation, and only the good people get to go to heaven, but they're going to be sad. I don't know how that's going to be heaven, but anyways, but then we almost, but she, I was talking about something with my daughter when she had realized, like, because my daughter is realizing these things that I have said where she would get mad at me before. Now she's realizing she wasn't hearing what I was saying, and she didn't have all the information. And so she is, you know, that's mind opening. And that's what these interactions are about. And so I was telling my mom one of the things that she had realized when she had looked into it more, because remember when I said the blues were the bad people, but not all blue people are bad people, but the blue people that carry the Z on their chest, those ones are the bad ones, but they all hide under the blue ones. So they are masked, and they set up rules and stuff so that we're not allowed to talk about them or look at them, and they're the bad ones. And when you say that to somebody who isn't awakened yet, they think, you know, you're anti-Semitic, you're evil, what's wrong with you? Those people are those people are the, still, just a minute. Those people are the biggest victims or something. It's like, oh, okay, so you're victimizing all these people around everywhere in the world, but let's just keep thinking about these people's poor story, which I still think happened in 1918, because there's people who've gotten the newspapers where it was in the articles. So, yeah, how would they kill them all in 1918 to 1922, and then turn around and do it in 1945? But they've done these cleansings so many times to so many different cultural groups. This is how they attack. So whatever, you know, they infiltrated those people and used them as a mask for a long time. But anyways, oh, I hadn't realized that, no, the religious people, my mom said, oh no, I'm completely on the Z side. And I'm like, what? And so the conversation went a different direction. And she's like, yeah, 100%. Like, we're not going to talk about this because we're going to go right back into religion. And I was like, okay, yeah. But I was just like, what? And that's where it's like, you just want to scream at these people, like, look into more things. Open the book, man. Look into more things. That's where you just see where people get so trapped in their own information, their own story, that they shut everything else out. And that is that giant expansion when you're looking out here and suddenly you see in here. You're looking in here and suddenly you see over there. It's like a whole new thing opens. But you got to be open to it. You got to be, looking. Like I have to say, hey, where's the bike? And then I was like, whoa, I didn't even see that. I was looking out there and I didn't even see any of that. Like it was so weird. And so it is just, but it's up to us. That's why, oh my God, Miss Drama. What is it? But it's up to us. That's the free will. That's your spirit. That's what you're here to expand on. That's what you're here to watch. That's what you're here to witness in yourself. And so, in the golden age, it's all about abundance. And that is where all this gold is coming back. Everything, like our God-given treasures come back to us. There's this flipping of fortunes. And everything comes back to us. Okay. What is it? Okay, we'll just finish up because this is ridiculous. So, maybe I'll have time to do another one. Oh my God, drama. But you get what I'm saying. So the different ages, different things. But this one, the things that it had, like Jesus and stuff, that is a part of the shift. That's the bridge to cross over. You have to let go of this old way of thinking. And it's such a trap. And to some people, that's where I think, like, oh, well, maybe they're going to rapture out. They're going to take people who are not here for the mind. They're not here. The people, that is who's going to leave, is the people who aren't here for this heaven on earth. And I keep saying we're going into heaven on earth. I don't understand why you think this rapture is taking you to the heaven, and especially when you're saying you're gonna be sad. It's like, what are you talking? What do they teach in these Bibles? Like, what the fuck, dude? So, anyways, the what I was gonna say. This is so destructive. It penetrates my mind when she whines. But just whatever I was talking about. And it seems like that there's a lot going on, man. There was a lot of videos, like fucking all of New Zealand shut down. Like there was like so much stuff going on. More banks in other countries where people can't get their money, no power, all these kinds of things. So there's definitely things happening. We're definitely going, like this is written in the stars. They can't change these cycles, the earth cycles. It's like, even when they interfere, we still have cycles, even with the weather and stuff, no matter what they try and do. Even though I think that the cycles are going to be changing. I don't think there's going to be so much winter. Maybe there will be like winter in the mountains or something. And it will be like, I don't know. But things are going to be changing. There's going to be a lot more tropical, a lot more land with water. We're going to have a lot more access to water. We're going to have a lot more, like, how many of us have all sat around like, God, I'd love to live on the water. I'd love to live on an island. And there's going to be a lot more of that kind of stuff. Like the things that we really wanted, the things through our lives that we'd notice and be like, man, that'd be so cool. God, I'd love to live like that. We didn't realize we were creating the world we wanted. And it's like, fuck, I'm ready to go into that world. Like, what the hell? Yeah, there's a little work to it, but rapturing out to not feel your pain seems to be not the right idea to me. So I say, work on you and keep working on you and letting go of this old world, because the old world will hold you back. But like, I would say that those would be the people that rapture out, because it would be, they wouldn't. See how demanding she is? Like, oh, because the rapture out would be the separation of the two vibrations. Because there's a certain vibration that's going to keep moving forward with all the people who start loving one another and loving the earth and want to do good and want things to be better. That energy is going to take off. And it's going to, all of us are going to start creating this, what we want. And the universe has got it all there waiting, ready to start giving it to us. And because it's a cycle. And we were writing the story before we ever got here. And so it's up ahead. And we got to keep going. And another thing that came to me too is really how much people want to jump ahead or stay behind instead of staying in the here and now. In my here and now, let me see what's happening. I'm gonna have to go see if I can feed her, quiet her tension, quiet her madness. So anyways, just remember, this is all about learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it is up to you. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm gonna plan on tomorrow. I'll record like once I get home and stuff, and I'm gonna leave early, but it'll still be later in the afternoon. So anyways, and I'll try and get this one on, but talk to you later.